Marine. But my family, they knew I loved Top Gun, knew I loved planes, and so they bought me this big, toy plane. It was an F-15 Eagle, but at the time I was like, it's a Tomcat, yay! And I was watching it, everything that Maverick and Goose do in their plane, I would do with my plane, And then comes the classic splat spin scene, So like I started spinning around the living room with my plane, and I trip, bam, busted my eyebrow open on the china cabinet. Like hit it, busted it wide open. I'm bleeding. I'm like walking through the hallway, blood's dripping down. I walk in the kitchen, my whole family's there, and they all stop and look at me, and they're like, scattering. Like my mom's like picking me up and putting a rag on my head, and my papa runs out to the truck and fires up the truck, and they go in a truck and we're hauling ass to Vernon because the hospital was probably about an hour away. So we're flying. I think my dad was working, but they called him and he booked it to the hospital and beat us there. So we're there, and the doctor's like, oh, what happened, And I was like, oh, I was in a dogfight and a MiG shot me with a missile and it hit me in the eye. And the doctor's like, man, this kid is hit hard. My mom, and he looks at my mom and he's like, he was watching Top Gun, he tripped and fell, hit his eye on the china cabinet. He's like, oh, gotcha.
How old were you at the time?
Shit, I was probably 5 or 6 years old.
5 or 6, okay.
Yeah, so pretty imagination was pretty good there.
Well, yeah, that's definitely a vouch for that.
Yeah.
And so, what kind of other Top Gun and practicing, tactical air maneuvers in the living room, what were some other interests at that time?
A small interest in wanting to play guitar. Never really got very far with that. Still haven't. Playing, just run around playing sports, being a boy, just playing baseball, playing football, outside playing G.I. Joes.
So you were out kind of an outdoorsman kind of person.
Oh yeah,
you other than watching Top Gun, that's probably the only time you were inside, right?
Pretty much. Okay. My mom. I was always that kid. My mom drug inside the house, kicking and screaming because it was time to wash up and eat dinner.
Okay.
And it goes down to my family's a bunch of rednecks. We're outdoors people. We love to be outdoors. So it definitely didn't skip a generation with me.
Oh, okay. So how was your relationship with your siblings? I'm asking siblings throughout your entire childhood.
Well, hell, my family's closer than hell. My brother, we always fight, but we're close. As much as me and my sister and brother would fight, it would be my sister and brother versus me because I was the middle child and oldest boy, so I'd catch all the shit from everyone. Had to do all the dirty jobs like taking out trash, mowing the lawn, doing that kind of stuff because my sister's the only girl and the oldest, and my little brother's the baby, so we're close as hell, but as soon as anybody messes with my family, then we're up in arms ready to kick the shit out of somebody fucking with our family.
That is just Texas right there, so.
That is true.
Okay. How about the rest of it? You were, I guess you didn't live in the same town as any other family members, or?
Well, my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side lived in Kroll with us, and then my great-grandmother, affectionately known as Nana, she was full-blood Cherokee, adopted by white people, and she lived in Kroll. So we were all lived there, and we had distant cousins that lived there. So a small redneck hick town that everybody knows everybody, and there's one blinking red stoplight.
Okay, so this is a small town.
Yeah, it's really small.
Okay, so the town I lived in, which I call small, it was a thriving metropolis compared to.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Just kind of give me a rundown, I guess, of just high school. What kind of activities? Unless there's something about junior high that stands out.
Not much in junior high. That's pretty much when, 7th grade, I started playing football. That's when our earliest athletic started letting us play football, other than Pee Wee, which I never did because I was too busy running around and paintballing with my friends and stuff to go play Pee Wee. And so I started playing football in 7th grade, 7th, 8th grade. Played football. Then went to high school and played more football.
So basically most of your memories of high school was football. I guess academically you really weren't
Well, academically, I passed my classes. Well, a few of them I had to retake, but mostly English. Damn English.
Yeah, I struggle with English too.
But yeah, pretty much. I mean, football, ran track. I was a hurdler. Ran 110-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles. Fairly good at that. Not good enough.
Okay, what kind of position did you play in football?
Well, in 7th and 8th grade, we always did the wing T formation. So I was always the wing back. And probably about 3 or 4 weeks into my 8th grade year, I was in practice. I got hit by one of our linebackers and broke my left collarbone. So that pretty much made me miss the rest of the season. So, and I still remember that damn play and everything. Just bad day, and that was actually pretty funny. But in high school, we went to like the slot formation, so there was no need for a wing back, and so they tried making me a receiver and a cornerback, and I can't catch to save my life, so I just kind of was on the team.
Okay.
I was just mainly there to get in the way of people, and hit people every once in a while. And then sophomore year, they changed formation up again, and I was trying to be a receiver because they wanted us to play both ways, both ways of the team. And I played outside linebacker on defense, and then I played receiver on offense. And then one day my coach looks at me and goes, "Ruckel, good defense." And I was like, "Coach, I'm playing both ways, ring a bell." He's like, "You can't catch, go. Your defense, just go hit somebody." "Okay, coach, you're the boss."
Okay.
So, and then as of sophomore year, I played nothing but defense, and I was always outside linebacker.
Okay. So other sports, is there any other memories or anything you'd like to share? I assume you were a hunter. I know we were talking about hunting earlier, so.
Yeah.
You're Boy Scouts, camper, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I was a Boy Scout for probably about 6 months, then we moved and I just never got back into it. It's not something that really breaks my heart, because the difference between the Army and the Boy Scouts is Army has heavy artillery. But, so it was never that big a deal. As for hunting, hell, as soon as I was old enough to walk and understand, my dad took me hunting. We were dove hunting, and he would shoot a bird, and I'd go be his bird dog and go catch his bird and bring it back to him. I wouldn't carry it in my mouth or anything, just smarter than that.
Okay.
But so and it just goes back to the whole redneck roots, where my dad taught me to basically survive. How to hunt, how to clean your kill, go fishing, stuff like that. And I still love to do it today.
Well, I imagine those are skills that probably help you out, especially in the not only in the Marine Corps but also in the infantry. Not that we do too many, there's too much hunting done in the Marine Corps, but if it came to that, I'm sure
it's a different type of hunt.
Yes.
Where they hunt back. But yeah, my dad always he taught me how to shoot a rifle, and I was always decent at it. And then when I got to the Marine Corps, they going through the marksmanship course and boot camp and stuff like that, it kind of everything goes click, and I'm like, so that's what my dad was talking about. It just made me that much better. So I wouldn't say I'm the best shot, but I'm pretty damn good.
Okay.
So.
Well, I guess at this point, why did you? You were naming off a list of services that your family was in, and it seemed like the Marine Corps is really underrepresented. I think you said you had one uncle.
Yeah, great uncle.
Okay. So other than that, why? You said earlier there was you always wanted to be in the military, but why the Marine Corps and why the infantry?
Well, it wasn't always. I wanted to be a Top Gun pilot, a naval aviator like Tom Cruise. Be like Maverick. Fly the F-14. But that never really worked out, because I found out as I got older that you'd have to go to college and then do all lengthy process that at the time I thought that I wouldn't be able to achieve. So I decided to do something a little easier. Of course, at the time I was like, I don't want to be a pilot anymore. I want to be a Navy SEAL.